Good morning, folks. You know who it is. It's your boy Tavis reporting live from the man cave. We got 4 games on tap, and that was right there, Smooth Jazz by George Duke. Yes, it don't have to be rap all the time. I do enjoy other music, and that's one of my songs I like by George Duke. That's Smooth Jazz right there. First game, we're gonna get straight into it. The Cleveland Cavaliers taking on the Indiana Pacers. The Indiana Pacers is looking to avoid elimination last night. Did they avoid it? No. We're going to tell you the reasons why they didn't avoid it. At a point in time, they did have a lead in the game. They did cut the Cavaliers' lead down. And I thought, with them playing, I thought they took too many threes as well, trying to keep up with the Cavaliers type of basketball. I always thought they had a mismatch inside with the Miles Turner and Tristan Thompson matchup. But Paul George only came to play. He had 15 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals in the block. That just wasn't enough to beat the Cavaliers. A veteran squad. The Cavaliers are the oldest team in the NBA playoffs this year. Thaddeus Young, 13 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. Miles Turner, which I thought he was the only one, him and Lance Stevenson, I thought they was the ones who actually came to play tonight that wanted to win. Because that's why they was in the 20s. 20 points, 9 rebounds for Miles Turner. CJ Miles, come on, baby. Really? 6 points? Again? And 3 rebounds? And you were saying in that second game, game two, you said I can make them shots anytime. I know for a fact I'm one of the best shooters in the league. Ever since you said that, you haven't done anything. The last 2 games combined for 12 points. 6 points to last night and 6 points 2 nights ago. You got to get it together, baby. It's over. You guys going home. Paul George, we know you like to fish, and guess what? That's what you will be doing now. You will be fishing for the rest of the summer. Jeff T had 15 points, 4 rebounds, 3 blocks, 10 assists, 2 steals. From point guard, 3 blocks, not bad at all. And he had 10 rebounds. So, had a double double there. Lance Stevenson, 22 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Lance Stevenson came out off the bench, was ready, like his nickname, born ready. He came off the bench, game ready. Born ready was game ready. He was shooting the ball, lights out. He wanted to win, not just for him, but for that Pacers team. Ever since he came there in the last couple of games of the season, before he entered the playoffs, their record was 5-1 with Lance Stevenson when they picked him up off the streets. But to Paul George, like I said, he only had 15.7 rebounds. At a point in time, it's looking like I'm not gonna say he didn't quit on his team. He wanted his team to do more because he's doing more while his team is doing less. So what the funny part is, 2 people did more and he did less. Yeah, you can't take no stats, numbers, all that stuff don't lie. But I'm saying I'm looking at the hustling plays from Lance Stevenson and Miles Turner. Them guys won the game. They bench outscored the Cavaliers bench 33-29. The Cavaliers bench has got some good moments too from them guys. Shannon Fry with 7 points, especially a good dose of Darren Williams. He had 14 points off the bench. Kyrie Irving had 28 points with his 3 blocks as well. So him and Jeff Teague both had 3 blocks. And with Kyrie 2 rebounds. Kyrie was 1 for 7 from the 3-point line. So after a while he said, you know what? If I can't shoot threes, I'm gonna start doing what I do best. Uncle Drew mode. Got out there dancing, cutting and slicing, going to the hole. Why not? Free throw line. When you can't hit threes, take note, young people out there. When you can't hit threes, young women and young guys, when you can't hit threes, find other ways where you can score. Go to the hole. Make the referee blow that whistle. That's what Kyrie Irving did. J.R. Smith, I tip my hat off to him. He only had 5 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 steals. Only reason I tip my hat to J.R. Smith, he had a hamstring and he played through it. A lot of guys would have sat down on the bench and said, you know what, I'm going to rest tonight. We fine. But when you're defending champs, people are coming for your head. They want that throne. When you got this on your shirt, right here, a bear wearing the crown. Teams want that crown, man. More honey, more problems. They want that. So the Cavaliers, they gotta keep seeking. Yeah, the sweep is good. Get rest and get ready for the next game. Tristan Thompson, 6 points, 11 rebounds. The only thing I like the 11 rebounds, but Tristan Thompson out offensive rebound the Indiana Pacers in this series. He had 25 offensive rebounds. The one thing Tristan Thompson need to work on if he want to be a scorer, he need to work on a 15-foot mid-range jumper this summer. And when he get the ball in the paint, stop all the head faking. You a big man. When you get that ball, go straight up. Dunk it. Oh, well, they foul you, foul you. You get to the free throw line. That's the whole object of the game. Put the ball in the hole in second. Make the referees blow that whistle. Kevin Love, even though he had an off night, he shot 2 for 13 from the field, 15%. He had 5 points. But the one thing he did do, he had 16 rebounds, 3 assists in the block. So if you can't score, you can find other ways to get involved in the game, which I love him getting the rebounds. Can't take nothing from him from that. You already know what I'm about to say next about King James. Awesome. Awesome. If you got to vote for MVP, like I said, it's going to be Russell. It's going to be between Russell Westbrook and James Harden. But I cannot take nothing away from what LeBron James doing right now. We are witnessing greatness right now. He's doing everything he can to get his team to victory. He's willing his team to victory. Easy. Him and Russell Westbrook right now in the playoffs are at least averaging about 32 minutes plus per game. But LeBron James is a special specimen. 33 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, and 2 blocks. And this is coming from a former MVP. LeBron don't care about regular season MVPs. Only thing right now LeBron James is worried about is final MVPs and bring another championship to Cleveland, Ohio, which is the city I'm from. Proud and born and raised from there. Right now, Pacers going home. It's gonna be a tough summer. Larry Bird gonna see what he gotta do to lock up Paul George, because right now Paul George, he's already said still he wanna sign with someone else. The Pacers had more assists than the Cavaliers. They out assist us 21-11. The Cavaliers outscored the Pacers in the second quarter, 36-28. Also, we had a major meltdown. The Cavaliers had one. Got outscored 18-25. You cannot do that if you're trying to make a defend your title. You know the hashtag the Cavaliers use? Defend the land. And what they did, they came out with a victory, 106-102. So 4-0, Cavaliers going on to the next round. We're getting ready between the Raptors and the Bucks. Second game we had on tap. I love that game. The Houston Rockets and the OKC Thunder. Rockets right now are up 3-1. They are 1 game away from eliminating eliminating the OKC Thunder from the playoffs. Trevor Ariza, 14 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals. That's what I'm talking about, Trevor. No more 6 points. When you score like that, your team wins. Ryan Anderson, he's not having one of his best playoffs that I've seen from him. 9 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 steal. You have to find other ways to score besides shooting threes. You like 6'10", put your back towards the basket. Get one of them players one of these, man. Form a hook shot, a jump shot, man. Hit something. You live by the 3, you die by the 3. And right now, you dying by that 3-pointer. I seen you a flat out scorer. Take about 2 or 3 steps in and hit that 17 to 18-foot jumper. Because right now in the NBA, the 15-footer in mid-range is a lost art. You cannot do that. Clint Capella, 4 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist. Terrible game. He normally have a better game than that most of the time. James Harden had an off night. He shot 32%. He was 5 for 16, 8 assists, 7 rebounds, and 16 points. Patrick Beverley, 6 points, 3 assists, 5 steals. But the one thing I do want to get into, because the starters, they did their thing, but these next 3 guys I'm about to mention off the bench did their thing. The bench scored 70 points, people. 70 points from the bench is a lot. And with that saying, Eric Gordon with 18 points, Lou Williams with 18 points, Nene with 28 points, and he was 12 for 12 from the field with 10 rebounds. That's how they won. They bench won the game for them. 70 bench points. That's how you win games. The Thunder, Robertson had 13 points. Wow. 4 rebounds, 2 steals, 5 blocks. He had 4 blocks in the first. in the first quarter. Might be an NBA record for the OKC Thunder / Seattle Supersonics days in they playoff books. Taj Gibson, 6 points, 2 rebounds. Last game, Taj had 20. Now he's a negative 14. That don't add up right. Steven Adams had 18 points. Last game, he had 4. So the balance of them scoring is not there. If you can get Adams with 18 points and maybe a Taj Gibson with 16, who knows? They probably would have won this game. With that, Steven Adams had 18 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, and 3 blocks. Great game from him. Like I said, Victor Oladipo, lay off the 3. I see what you can do in Orlando. I need for you to attack the hole more, just like Russell Westbrook is. Russell's getting to that cup by any means necessary. He wants this win. You had 15 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks in Victor Oladipo. Find other ways to get to that basket without shooting a 3. Get to the hole. I know you can get to the hole easily. That's why he got you there, because you can create your own shot. Other than that, nobody else can create their own shot on that team. Russell Westbrook had 35 points, 14 rebounds, 14 assists, 3 steals. Amazing. Amazing stat lines. But that triple-double don't mean nothing if you can't get that W. Jerry Grant had 10 points. They bench only scored 22 points. That hurts when you don't have another scorer or another spot-up shooter come off your bench that can actually help your team out and contribute. The Thunder had the game right there in their hands. I don't know why they didn't foul going towards the end. They were in the play for like Houston inbounds the ball. They didn't foul on like with 17 seconds left in the fourth quarter. They fouled on like 8 seconds to go. Put the team up by 5. You can't do nothing now. If you would have fouled them earlier and came out and hit a 3, now you'd have been in business. I don't know why you didn't foul. That's why you guys lost. They lost 109 to 113. Like I said, the Rockets has that series edge, 3-1. And right now they're going back to Houston. Houston going to close the Thunder out and send them probably going fishing in a couple of days. The second game I'm going to get into, it's kind of sad to say Bulls and Celtics, this series is tied up 2-2. When they were saying Rondo was a cancer to the team. But it's looking like Rondo is much needed to the team. They call him cancer. He needs to aid that team. I wish he never fractured his thumb. Maybe we talk about right now, Bulls up in this series 3-1. But kudos to the Bulls fighting through. Bench wise, they didn't get nothing really from their bench. Isaiah Cannon scored his playoff career high, 13 points. They should have been playing him. He went to game 4 and want to start emptying out guys. Once Rondo got injured and he ain't playing game 3, that's when you start putting other guys in to see what you have. It's almost a little bit too late to be putting them guys in that late. I would not be starting Michael Carter Williams. If I was the Bulls coach, Fred Hoiberg, I would start Isaiah Cannon into the game. Maybe you can get somebody who can create some shots and put players in the position where they can. There's no way that you had Michael Carter Williams out there and he couldn't even score a bucket, but he's trying to fight Isaiah Thomas. You can't fight the smallest man on the floor and he's showing you up and you can't guard him. That's just point blank, period. Bobby Portis, 8 points, 8 rebounds, not bad game for Bobby Portis. Dwayne Wade, 11 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 blocks. At times, Dwayne Wade is like he's slowing down out there on the floor. We gotta find other ways to insert him into your offense with easy buckets. You got D-Wade bringing the ball up the court. He taking a lot of shots. He falling to the ground. Set some pick and rolls with Dwayne Wade because he has a nice mid-range shot from the free throw line extended. So find other ways to get him in the game. Definitely, when y'all won game 3, I feel like y'all involved Robin Lopez into the game more. Y'all did not involve him more into the game. That's why he had 8 points, 7 rebounds, and a block. Last game you involved him, he had about 16 points and 12 rebounds. Feed the big man the ball. You can't have your big man running down the court for nothing. If he get a defensive rebound, you don't feed him on a couple of plays, he might take off and quit on you. So feed these big guys the ball. You could have won. You could have played the game through him. He got a nice hook shot. He can score around the basket. He can get to the free throw line. He can shoot free throws. He's not a sorry big man. The Bulls are not using their big man. You have to use Robin Lopez if you want to come out this first round of the playoff series. Uh, Mirotic had 13 points, 7 rebounds. He did his thing again. Now he's being more he being more trusted with the ball and more consistent of the point scoring now. Last couple, like the first 2 games with 6 points, 4 points. So now the last 2 games he been 12 plus. So you need to get that for him. If you can get, like I said, get Robin Lopez the ball more, who knows? You can win the game. Jimmy Butler, 33 points, 5 rebounds, 9 assists. They do all they can do with Jimmy Butler. For them to win, I always gonna say this: Jimmy Butler need to go off for 40. Because I love to hear Stacey King say, Jimmy wants what Jimmy gets. And right now, Jimmy not getting what he wants or what he can get. So right now, who's getting what they want right now? Isaiah Thomas. We switching things over to that way. Jay Crowder, 11 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals. Great game right there from him. Gerald Green, they put him in the starting lineup. His career high, 18 points and 7 rebounds. So that's good. You're getting different looks now. You see teams making adjustments to the other team, which is great. You're trying to get faster on that offensive end. We know that Mirotic can't check Gerald Green in the open court, so he's flying down the court and want to dunk the ball. Al Horford, 15 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists in the block. Big Al played big game. He played a big game today. I still hate when he shoot threes because I want him to play inside out. He's playing outside in. That's what hurt him in Atlanta. So don't let him fall in love too much with them 3 pointers. Keep him in the inside banging so he can grab them offensive rebounds and get easy 2 points. You will win if he does that. Avery Bradley, probably one of the most streakiest scorers in the starting lineup for a team. Last game he had 16. Now he had 8. Game before I think he has 6 now. So he's probably one of the most inconsistent scorers on their team. Um, he does a lot, but he does play the defensive end, so I can't knock him for that. But you do want to see him score a little bit more than 8 points to back up Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas, like I said, he going through a tough time, and like he's breaking out of that little mode. It's still a hurting process for him that he's going through. He still have the game in his hands. He was just going through catch, slicing and dicing, and he ended the game with 33 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists. And that's what you want. And that's your MVP candidate. That's what you. Hey, a guy that small, the last pick of the NBA draft, and they told him he wasn't going to be in the NBA for 2 years. But look where he at now. All-star, making a big-time contract. A small guy, under 5'8", led his team to the playoffs and the best record in the Eastern Conference. Kelly Olynyk, I call him the arm bar holder because he like to grab people's arms and hold them and trying to break them. He had 10 points, which they needed something different. At one point in time, the Celtics did lead the game by 20. They eased up a little bit. Chicago started making a couple of shots, and you know what happened to that? They called timeout. It was Isaiah Thomas time, IT time. And one thing before I go to the next team, can somebody tell the Chicago Bulls to get off the 3-point line? They're only shooting 21% last night. You can't play like that, man. At all. Period. No way. You cannot do that. The Clippers and the Utah Jazz. That's why I played that George Duke, that smooth jazz right there. Just for the Utah Jazz. The Utah Jazz won this game tonight without their best player. Gordon Hayward had food poisoning. He only played 9 minutes. He had 3 points and 2 rebounds. And they still found a way to win the game. Boris Diaw did not score. He had 2 rebounds, assists, and a steal. I'm not taking. People are like, oh, I can't believe he had that. Boris Diaw is really out there as a captain, man. He's a defensive anchor, putting players. He actually a player coach, putting players in the right spots on the floor. He might not give you much, but he do give you knowledge and wisdom. He could have did more, but he didn't have to do more. Rudy Gobert came back. Like I said, once he came back in Atlanta, I said Utah was gonna win this game last night. When I was sitting down with some friends of mine. So they did do it. They won the game. He had 15 points, 13 rebounds, and 2 blocks in his first game back from that injury. So, and guess who else played big minutes and did some big things? Joe Ingles, 8 points, 11 rebounds. No, he had 8 points, 6 rebounds, 11 assists, and 2 steals from Joe Ingles. I thought criticizing him, he need to do more. He need to get his teammates involved. Guess what? Get the teammates involved. He did the little things that don't show up in the stat sheet book. He hustled, diving on the floor, being an irritant to players on the floor. George Hill, 13 points, 2 assists. Derek Favors actually had a good game because last game he only had 8 points. This game he followed that up with 17 points, 6 rebounds, but he do need to up them rebounds up more. Hit that glass more. Joe Johnson. Me and my friend always talk about, man, that's ISO Joe. I said, no, that's Mr. Steal Your Checks, man. Every time he have a good game, I had to go back and piggyback on that. I can't call him Mr. Steal Your Checks no more. ISO Joe was 12 for 17 from the field with 28 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and he scored 11 straight points in the fourth quarter down the stretch to get the Utah Jazz this victory of 105-98. Rodney Hood played big minutes and had big time stat sheets. 18 points, 4 rebounds, and their bench scored 66 points to the Clippers 27. You see where I'm going with this at? The benches for these teams are stepping up to take some of the pressure off their guys, which is always key. The Jazz had 2 big quarters. Second quarter, they outscored the Clippers 31-26 right before halftime. In the fourth quarter, when you supposed to close the game out, they outscored the Clippers 28-18. And that's what you do if you want to win games. The Clippers, they still need to address that 3 spot. Mal Bute only had Luke Mabute had 5 points, 5 rebounds. Mal Bute, that's how you say it. Mal Bute had 5 points, 5 rebounds. Just like his name. He's not just like his name. He has to do more. Has to do more. And the Clippers, what they need to do in this free agency, they need to go out there and address that 3 spot because you need help desperately at that small forward spot. Maurice Speights, 5 points, 4 rebounds, nowhere to be found, but on the bench. He could have did more. There's a couple of guys the Clippers could use on their bench. Use some of them young guys. Use the Diamond Stones. Use them guys, man. You're not using them. You got to empty the bench out now. DeAndre Jordan, one trick pony. No mid range. No hook shot. All he can do is catch oops and dunks and block shots. One trick pony. That's what I call him, the one trick pony. If you take that away from him, he can't do nothing. JJ Redick finally came to play. He had 12 points, but still wasn't enough to get the win. He only averaged 5 points in this series because I keep saying it. You put Joe Ingles play defense on him and Chris Paul. And Chris Paul still was 1 rebound away from a triple-double. But J.J. Redick was frustrated because he couldn't get the looks that he normally looked for. All you got to do for J.J. Redick is rush him off the three-point line. That's what they did. Chris Paul does what Chris Paul does, CP3. 27 points, 9 rebounds, 12 assists. But the key was for Chris Paul, he needed to be like this, more aggressive all the time for them to win. For them to win, he got to score 30. He has to be aggressive. Like I said, I'm gonna keep saying this till I turn blue in the face. Doc, you got if you watching this somewhere, if somebody telling you about this guy named Tate Wiggs, you need to bench J.J. Redick and put in Jamal Crawford. He gave you 25 points tonight. Just imagine if he gave you that starting. Maybe they've been talking about a different outlook on this score tonight's game. Raymond Felton had 11 points and they bench scored 27. So with that being said, Crawford had 25, Raymond Felton had 11. That means that's 26 points and another person on the bench scored 1 point. Can't win like that. Nobody not scared of the Clippers. All you gotta do is contain DeAndre Jordan. No Blake Griffin. Like I said, when Blake Griffin's not in the lineup, they are plus 45. When he's not in the lineup against Utah, Utah is a plus 2. So that's what happened. The differential actually caught up with them. Clippers lost. The series is tied up 2-2. And they head back to LA for Game 5. I'm picking the Utah Jazz to win Game 5. Tomorrow night's game, you get the Bucks and Raptors even up at 2. That's on NBA TV. That game at 7. I'm going with the Bucks over the Raptors. You got Game 4 tomorrow. Wizards versus the Hawks. TNT, 8 p.m. Looking for the Hawks to bounce back, tie the series up. Warriors and Blazers. TNT, 10:30. I'm picking the Warriors to win that. Like I said, sweep. And a guy named Damian Lillard said they was winning in 6. Guess what, Damian Lillard? You got to win 4 games in a row if you want to win in 6. Because now you got to force a 7. You got to force a game 7. That's going to be harder to beat a Warriors team 4 straight times. Damian Lillard, y'all about to go fishing too. You know who I am? Tay Wiggs reporting live from the Man Cave. Subscribe to that YouTube channel at TAE_WIGGS. And the same thing for my Twitter. Tay Wiggs too. TAE_WIGGS. Till next time, later.